Hey everybody, Radaman here. Thanks for tuning in to Kenshi Birth of a Hive, one of the last episodes, I suspect. Recap the rules and goals that have been guiding us this whole time. And some things I wanted to do. Now, we're towards the end, obviously. I think that much is pretty self-evident. What I'm going to be doing is having Ermidoc, because he suggested the Gohan, let's have him make it. So I'm going to make him a sous chef. I want to get the swarm home again. I know that this is a lot of travel time. So I'm going to try to play a lot of this on very, very, very fast. So that they could do it quickly. The reason being is I want to rearm my people here. But primarily, I want to grab some more food, because we're pretty much out. Yes, I could be doing this, at trading stores and things like that. But another thing I wanted to do is grab some backup limbs, because against the Southern Hive, there is a high likelihood of us needing spare limbs. So let's check in with Heresy. Because Heresy is the maker of such spare limbs. I'm pretty sure Heresy's probably not been making these spare limbs for a long time and just been cranking out insane amounts of extra... Yeah, see, here we go. Skeletal muscles and motors we have a ton of. We need robotic components. So this is the last skeletal muscle you make. Let's crank out robotic components. Let's actually reorganize this. Oh, there we are. And now those limbs should be made. So I'm going to bring all of these, every single one that you see, with me. I'm probably also going to swap out Boops, because Boops doesn't have a lot of carry inventory size. The size that Boops can hold is just not that of, let's say, a bull or a crab. I'm not bringing Klein, though. The deal was, if I did have non-vanilla creatures that you can't normally recruit, we wouldn't use them in combat because they're not balanced. Klein is not a balanced creature. He's also a pup. I'm not sending pups to war. That's just wrong. So, Ermidoc should be cooking for us. There he is. Yes, he is. And that means our green fruit and rice weed, will be used considerably. Hey, little light. Resnick. Let's see. Someone that is currently unemployed. Resnick. You were an armor smith. This isn't as sexy of a job, but I'm going to have someone be stocking up the front guard barracks with food. No, that is operating hive stool. Alright. Hall to full food storage. He has a large backpack, so he's actually pretty well suited for the job. Alright. The rest of my guys are passing through AdMag, and we're going to get them home as fast as I can. The plan, of course, as you all should do, and probably, you should and do know, is that we are heading to the Southern Hive. Probably the hardest thing I'm going to do in this series, so it's important that we have all hands on deck. Dig. I think I need another farmer, to be honest. So who's another one that got unemployed? Crab. There we go. Crab, our weaponsmith, is now going to be a bit of a farmer, because we need the green fruits. And, I suppose Geezer, likewise. We have a lot of unemployment, but luckily we're hive-minded, so unemployment's kind of not a problem. Moral Oral, where are you now? Yep, we're getting close. I'm just taking the western north approach. All these Hive villages here are Fogmen now, so we should steer clear of it, but trying to get a move on quickly. There is, of course, the possibility that I still have Praetorians locked up in the prison. I'm being reminded of this constantly. No, they're not here. They were sort of the Schrodinger's cat of inmates. The mod that normally would have allowed me to recruit them seemed to have an update, or the opposite of an update, like a down date, if that's such a thing, where they were not recruitable. And as such, we ended up in a scenario where we lost the ability to recruit Praetorians. Okay, so all of these guys here, I think the roster that's going to the southern hive is not going to change. So the rest of my guards ought to just be assigned some seating. And that way we have people guarding the front gates. I don't know where you guys are going. Yeah, some of them, I really wish it would tell me, like, what they're doing, where they're going, because it's just like, I'm running away. It's like, are you hungry? Because I get that if you're hungry, but we are trying to haul food here. Oh, that wasn't a ordered job. Okay, so now let's go through. Everybody here should have sitting on hive stools as a job in in the bottom of their orders. Okay, so J-Horde, you don't, but you do now. And Ray, you don't, but you do now. Sing Healy. Okay, so everybody now is going to be camped out at that front. I think Oboro, you... Oh, my God. All right, let's go help out Oboro. I figured his job wasn't furloughed, so I figured he was full. And he is indeed full. The issue here is I need someone like the goat to help empty him out. We don't really need these toothpicks anymore. So, Goat, guess what? You have a lot of toothpicks. And Oboro's now put away a ton of bolt regulars, and he's back at it. Or something. I don't exactly know what he's doing. Alright, Swarm, I'm sure you are where I told you to be. You are. Let's keep going north, hugging the coast, staying away from those fogs. I'm trying to keep the timer at, the speed at 3x. So that we get, we get the show on the road, so to speak. Archbot and Dacatist, you guys are going to... Who's faster here? Dacatist is faster. So Dacatist, follow Archbot. You guys are going to make your way home as well. I want everybody home for this last shebang. Mostly because I don't think that they would ever be endangered, but if they were, I certainly couldn't help them. One being a pacifist and the other one being unarmored. It's best that we consolidate our forces, bring them all home. Because I am going to war with probably the most powerful faction in the modded version of Kenshi. We nearly made it out. We barely made it out with our lives, our last engagement. If that's any indicating, and that wasn't even their HQ. Another thing I might want to do is the drifter's leathers that I've got here. I might want to replace with dust coats, because the dust coats have far better coverage. They even cover head. They cover the legs a bit, which means shooting slower, but being a lot better covered. I'm okay with. I accept the crossbow speed shooting penalties for the increase of protection, which means some of the keepers that have dust coats, like Raptor or Builders, would swap out. Or Pukes, I think. Yeah, Pukes too. I think that's a wise change before going against a massive force. So a lot of little changes. Bring the spare limbs and all that jazz. So another thing that's going to be nice is with Dakotist and Archbot at home, I have fewer zones that are loaded, which should make the game run a little bit more smoothly. Honestly, that is my primary driving factor for bringing them home. No lag. All right, so Wasted, you're getting food. The other ones didn't have a clear goal, which is why I said it would be nice if they had one. Thorns, how about you go deliver a big bucket of food to our front gate guards? Thorns is like, ooh, this is all for me? It's like, no. This is for them. So they don't have to keep leaving. I think Resnick is hauling some of it, but not really as fast as I can micromanage. Yep. Alright. Moral Oral, at this point, you could just go straight to the base. Oh, are you going to try to cut through and swim? Yeah, never mind. Don't do that. Now, I do have a mod. Normally, with the Recruit Prisoners mod, when you recruit Fog don't treat water as slower or impassable or whatever, the way everybody else wants to avoid water, which was a bit of a problem. And then I installed a mod that, corrected that, that Fog look at water like a slower terrain or whatever. I didn't check the code of those mods, but that was sort of the long and short of it. But, okay, we're headed back. We have plenty of food, a well-stockpiled, guard barracks, in case we have some sort of wrathful, vengeance raid or something along those lines. This I could see is possible, likely even. So it's good to prepare. Camel Spider, I do believe you need another job. You've auto-loomed. I'm going to have them speed up the food production a little bit. It's something I've ignored for a long time. And now, Moral Oral, you are home. So, we're going to retire Boops. I'm going to pull out Arella. I think Arella over Osgolo. She's got she's a little bit tougher limbs and higher stats. She's going to be what we use in this endgame. Okay, so now I need to trade with Boops. Boops straight to Arella. All right, so now Arella has all that stuff. I'll give Arella the Matos for now as well. We're going to hand those out. Now let's move the ranch above the caravan, because the caravan is defunct now. Okay, so Boops, you are home. Arella, you are ready for war. Who uses moon cleavers in you guys? So Dazik has the Desert Saber, as I mentioned multiple times, because I think I'm low-key tired of receiving comments about it. All right, moon cleaver. Asebian, you come up here and trade with Arella. No one's going to be using that staff there. They're just not good. And then Arella, you need to be moved to the swarm. I think I put you into keepers. But yeah, you're gonna have to be moved to the swarm. There we are. Okay. Obsidian now has the moon cleaver. The other one's gonna get put away. Arella, head up to the spare limbs. You're going to take all of them. Oh, nice. A perfect set. Which means, yeah, we're not likely to be able to grab much from the southern hive. This is not so... Oh, okay. No room. Jenga, Jenga, Jenga. I guess my coffee hasn't kicked in fully, and I'm just sort of staring at this like... a little slow. A little slow on the uptick today. One more limb. I think, actually, Arella, you don't even need this much food. Let me, everybody, regroup. Alright, that should have freed up some ample space. Maybe. Yep. Grab that last limb. I don't know what kind of limbs we're going to lose, or lives for that matter. It's quite possible it's lives, not limbs. But there we go. We have all the spares. What else do I want to do? I wanted to grab food and more bolts. I might, and when I say might, it's more of a probably. I probably will have to do a lot of sort of long-range kiting type tactics. I'm not sure. I've never fought the brunt of the Southern Hive before like this, so I'm going in there blind a little bit. And then the other thing I wanted to do is, now that we've got, let's top up everybody's food, or not everybody, but enough people that we don't get hungry on the road. Trying to do it quickly so that I can actually make some progress down there, and this isn't just a episode of watching me walk around the world. All right, going pretty quick though, I hope. There. So we're nice and stuffed full of provisions and the beds and spare limbs, all the things we might come to need. Arella is the only one on passive. I'm going to also set her on hold. She seems to be pathfinding through water. We're going to have to carry her. The other thing I wanted to do is to grab the dust coats. So let me trade. Coat for coat. Nuggles, you're good. Frenchie, you need a dust coat. Trade with J-Horde. Yeah, the better coverage is, I think, going to be important. Could be wrong. But there's been a lot of times where my my crossbowmen have arm limb damage, right? And they're not all that efficient they've never really been swordsmen, so we're trying to prevent them from having to be swordsmen. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they're all set. Moral Oral and Silver Shade. Alright, Aurella's picked up. You're going to follow Silvershade. And Moral Oral, you are ready to go. Is that Dak and... Okay, Archbot, yep, they're out there. Okay, they're going to help me haul some food. Come on. There we go. Looks like the raid party that I've got going on is sort of not together yet. Alright, now it's together. And I think if I want to get here, going this way is probably fastest. I'm a little scared this is going to be a episode of travel. But, oh, also, Silvershade, you are falling behind. Hang on, everybody. Hella, can you handle... Yeah, Hella can handle and not fall behind. I want to be one tight group, right? So that we don't end up having people fall behind and get hurt. Need healing, etc. Some of the folks here have a little bit of damage to the limbs, including Queen. I didn't hop into repair beds. That would be my fault. Burns Tower actually has a repair bed. Let's just go to Burns Tower. I'll fix it that way. Swing by Burn. Give him a quick little hello. And roll on past. Alright, I think these... Yeah, these are full. Archbot, instead of that, how about you haul to breadbasket and bake and grain silo. So we're going to have Archbot making some bread. Dak, if the cacti are full, you are going to be making... So I'm going to have bread, right? So maybe dust witches? So haul to food and cook dust witches. Okay. We should have lots of food. This should not be an issue. Just putting people to work. Oops. Sorry, Dak. Didn't mean to do that. So the swarm should, what, be 21? Yep. The swarm is 21. Keepers are 28. So there's 28 guards at home. 23 craftspeople. Well, 24 if you count Phoenix in the ranch, and then Phoenix is taking care of the ranch animals. The reality is, even if I do repair up at Burns Tower, I'm likely to have limb damage anyway, like on the way to the Southern Hive. But I'll try it. I think there's a repair bed here. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Yeah, here it is. Alright, Queen's full. Silvershade is full. This doesn't take very long, and it's not really out of my way. Troller Sauce is full. Rage. The likelihood of the 1 or 2 hit points that I was missing being life or death or dismemberment or whatever is almost 0, but I mean, why take chances? Almost 0 is still greater than 0. I've certainly seen cuts. I've been hit down to like -99, and if it's like, well, if it wasn't healed up completely, that would be -100, and I would be dead or missing a limb or something like that. All right, Moral having trouble traversing. That's okay. I have nothing else to do but to control this squad because I've consolidated all of my forces back home, which should allow me to load zones more quickly. Having Dakatist and Archbot out at World's End means that I had to keep World's End loaded in memory. If you have problems, this is a weird thing to say this late in the series because at this point, but but I'll say it anyway. If you have problems running Kenshi, the fewer zones that you have loaded, the better the game will run. So run with one big squad. If you crash loading zones, one big squad will save you. All right, what is your issue? Moral Earl having trouble finding this road, apparently. I kind of actually don't want to go through Rebirth because it's longer, so I'm going to go west and then bushwhack my way south. Yeah, it's better. Some people here or there wanting to mess with me. They do look formidable. I gotta give them that. Until they hit a cactus. I do like how Aurella's just sort of like being flung about. Okay, so we are... Let's see if I can't just say... Go here. There's not a lot of mountains in the way between here and there. There's some speed swimming. Because we're all waiting for more Oral, and more Oral's run speed, I figured. Why not just take off the pants and run 1 mile an hour faster? Not a huge difference, but only having to take the pants off of one character is easy to remember to put it back on. So I'm curious, did Ron ever get 74 melee attack? Okay. Moral at 65. We've got a 68, 70er. That's Droiden. And Rage at 68. Both Pharaoh and Metal are at 68. Yeah, I mean, we're nice and tough. Did I just lose someone? Or is it my imagination? My imagination. Cool. Oh, this is a really weird way to go. Yeah, go there. Every now and then the pathfinding, especially when pathfinding over long distances, get a little wonky. A little strange. There should not be a case where you have to run west between here and there. It's southeast. One of the critiques I do see of this game, periodically, is basically how ugly it is. Because everything is dry and dusty and gray and sort of apocalyptic. But I've never felt like Kenshi was ugly. I mean, the graphics aren't up to date, but that's because this game was started development like something like 13, 14 years ago. Gotta cut it some slack. You know, this game started development around the first Mountain Blade. And we all know what that game looks like. Of course, Bannerlord is coming out in a little less than a week. But still, I mean, this versus the original Mountain Blade, yeah, the graphics are a lot better here. Granted, it's a lot harder to run, but that's the trade-off, the age-old trade-off. Wanted to make it look nice, you gotta have a beefier computer to to run it. Well, so far we really haven't been interrupted by much. No one's been attacked. I'm kind of surprised. No beak things or anything like that. So I think what I'm going to do is totally skip over to Southern Hive Village. I don't really care about some villagers. That's not the goal. That's not how to win. Look at all those shiny Mato blades. I believe I'm right when I say every single person in this group has something Mato. No, Nuggles does not. But Nuggles could. I could have Beep give up secondary blade to Nuggles. The longsword. Why don't I just do that? Regardless, Katana's just fine. Oh. No, actually, Second Chance doesn't either. Should have handed you the Mooncleaver, clearly. But, I guess, Second Chance, you'll get the heavy polearm. Or the regular polearm, rather. If I don't die. Big if. Well, I've made some pretty good time down here, considering it was a lot of travel. And a bit of organization. We still have plenty of food on. Before I forget, pants go back on. Okay, we're pretty deep into Southern Hive territory now. I'm surprised I don't see more patrols. I mean, I do. There are some patrols here or there. No hive for King. Yeah, the real curious thing is... So the Western Hive, their vengeance raid never really came to be. They never really showed up at our doorstep or anything like that. And the curious thing is here, will we get a situation where King shows up and messes with me? I don't, off the top of my head, I could be wrong. I could be mistaken because I've been playing this game for so long, but I don't think I've ever had to fight King. King is, I don't want to spoil it. Alright, so I'm sort of bushwhacking around this Hive village. I don't care to clear out a village. I'm here for one thing only, the Queen. So I'm going to go south and then hook back north. Before I actually lay siege, it would be wise to find a good camping spot that's a little secluded, so that if I do have to tactically retreat, I got somewhere to go. But I think the mountain range protects... I might have to come in from the southeast, because maybe I have to go through here. This Hive village. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I did not see all these guys. Yeah, I may have to go that way. Drone Guard Heavy. So these Drone Guard Heavies, I can't finish off either because they aren't in vanilla, and therefore the execute buttons don't work on them. But I can strip them. So the idea here is to spend a second and just make sure that all the guys I just put down don't end up, you know, being able to fight me again. Care of the execute. Yes, I know. A lot of people are saying, oh, that's so cheap. It was voted on. The majority voted for the execute mod. So yes, it does make my job a little bit easier, but was, you know, it wasn't a unanimous vote, but it was a majority vote. So that is a comment I get pretty commonly. And I'm sure there's more that are conscious out here that I just hadn't tapped out. But some of them are... Oh, you're dying, but you're patching yourself. Who's patching you? I don't even see... Yeah. Throw you to the ground, make you unconscious. No, I did miss some. Alright, how hurt did I get? Despite traipsing through their patrol, Second Chance got a little dinked up, but for the most part, not too bad. I think that we are going to be stuck going through that Hive village. Unless I want to come from the southeast, but I think coming from the southeast, I'm probably going to run into the same problem where there's some sort of... Oh, no, maybe we just found a shortcut? Yep. Alright, appears like it. So, next thing, find a place to set up a little bit of a camp. So, the Queen, Southern Queen is in here. As you can see, there's a lot of people out front. Who's fighting who over here? Oh, there's King. I found King. He's right there. I think maybe if you have sharp eyes and a high resolution monitor, you could see that he's not exactly Hive. So I need somewhere... Am I being chased? No. I need somewhere nice and flat to set up camp. But not too far. This looks like a good little area. Arella, I'm going to dump 15 bags. That way, if I need to set up some emergency bags a little bit closer, I'm able. Oh, Queen herself got hit. And I'm just going to be working on topping everybody off. Hello. I don't even... Oh, nasty no hives. I have a hive, dude. Quit calling me nasty no hives. Is this a heavy? Yeah, it's a heavy. So, if we could just kill him rather than wound him, that'd be terrific. Thank you. Alright, he's unconscious and... whole lot of naked. Alright, let's regroup. This might be one of those situations where I'm constantly harassed. So Hella, put down Arella. Arella, just stay right there. If I'm being constantly harassed, it's going to be important to pressure the main group. Because I don't know what kind of reinforcements they're going to constantly get. Alright, so... Oh, hello. So here's what their heavies look like when they're naked. Not all that much of a threat. Yeah. Don't have a lot of mercy for these folks, because they believe in the wrong queen. Despite being sort of bluish purpley, they do blend in real good. Alright, so here's a regular drone guard that I could finish off. I want to keep my camp somewhat safe, but it's going to be hard to keep them away. Alright, in terms of healthy people, we're probably all healed up. Yep, I believe that's true. Alright, Arella, you are holding down camp by yourself. Not super safe, but someone's got to do it. I don't see that... yeah, let's run as a formation. I don't see that there's some patrols out here. I would very much like to hit King first. I did visibly confirm King's existence this time. But it looks like there's a lot of patrols out front that are going to hinder my King assassination. So I last saw him over yonder. It'd be very cool if I could isolate him out. Actually, Arella, I'm going to have you follow Moral Oral. So she has the spare beds, the emergency beds, in case I need to pop a quick camp because someone's critical. And then we can always head back to the original camp. So right now I'm just trying to cut down the amount of patrolmen. Oh, as you can see, they're coming in thick. This looks like a heavy, yeah. Best thing I can do is make them naked. And that removes most of the threat that they would pose. Now, against groups that are roughly my size, like, alright, I clearly outnumbered this patrol, but not overwhelmingly so, and we did a pretty good job of just wiping them out with minimal injuries. Can someone help Hollow? There we are. They're all just spectating. Quit calling me nasty, no hives. I've got a hive. Ooh, you're unconscious forever, basically. I don't think I have to worry about him. And then here's a heavy that got up. And one of the real advantages of stripping them down is then they don't have any armor and it's so much easier to kill them. To land a fatal blow. Yo, quit attacking Hollow. Jesus. Cut off one leg. Cut off an arm? Nope. Almost cut off a leg. Alright, come on, guys. That's enough torturing of that. So who's fighting who over here? There's goats fighting drone guards? That's kind of funny. So I did see, I think I saw King over this way. It'd be great, as I mentioned, to be able to nab King before going for Queen. That'd be pretty cool. So I'm trying. I'm going to put Arella as passive. King should be easier to spot. He's not exactly a hiver. Quit yelling at me. No, I'm not a... You're a sacrifice. That's ours? No, it's not. Your life is mine. As is your arm. I am cutting off a crazy amount of arms here. Left arm there. What about you guys? Left leg there. Yeah, I'm cutting off a lot of limbs. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Well, at this point, maybe if I can't, I'll try to find King a little bit longer. But I ought to rip off the Band-Aid and push to the center of the hive. It just bothers me that I actually saw him. And I was so intent on setting up camp that I decided not to reroute and go assassinate some kings. Okay, so take a quick look at my health. Hollow, Tail Div. Actually, Pharaoh, you're a little untreated. Rage probably has the worst wounds, but they're not that bad. Well, this bums me out. I was really hoping to nab King. Oh, these are some guards that have fought before. I can tell because they're wounded. Or maybe they were fighting goats. I don't know. I can't confirm that it was me, but... Okay. Well, I circumnavigated everything once. Telling everyone to hold, and I'm going to put my crossbows to work here. They're definitely going to piss off a whole lot of stuff. And putting the melayers in. Arella, you can stop staying close. Alright, that's a lot of them over there. So, what I really need to do, and I know this doesn't make the combat fun to watch. I need to be finishing them off as I down them. This is a requirement. If I do not do this, I will lose. Yes, it is a little cheating or whatever, but if I didn't go this route, what I would likely do instead is kite and fight, and that would be a little slower. Who are you? Oh, Prince. Prince trying to lop off Green's leg there. So I just have to make sure that my guys don't waltz too deeply into the center of the hive, so that we're not picking a fight with everybody all at once. And then once I'm wounded a little bit, not downed, not dead, but wounded a little bit, regrouping back at camp, healing everybody up and having another go at it. Because this is a battle of numbers. They are going to outnumber me considerably, so I got to be real careful about how many I fight, how deep I go. In fact, right now I'm going to be pulling back everybody. I got a fair amount of them hurt. Ooh, a Hive Prince Ronin. Again, another character type I cannot execute, but I can strip. So right now I just have it so that, let's hold everybody. We are just range murdering everybody. Ouch. until they get close to me. Unhold. Oh, elite drone guards and stuff. Okay. Rangers. Back up a little bit. Oh, here's one of their Praetorian drone guards. Beep, you want a piece of that? This is exactly who I wanted to draw out because they're very dangerous, and I don't want to have to fight too many of them at once. And then I think after this engagement, ooh, I can even execute the elite drone guards. So they have some pretty good weapons here. These gutter pikes are no joke. I could easily become dismembered or worse. And generally speaking, it should be enough to just remove... Wow, this Praetorian is beefy. It should be enough to remove their weapons, but I'm also removing their armor so that if they do get back up, they get knocked out a lot more quickly. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here. Shoot that chunker. Or I don't know where you're going, but don't. Yeah, I'm being very careful here. It'd be a real shame if the 11th hour of this series I lost. Right? That's what I'm trying to avoid. Whoa! There goes a leg. Another leg, I think. You're legless. Oh, arm. That was an arm. Alright, this chunker. He's definitely going to go down soon. But this Praetorian had higher combat stats than even Moral Oral. And we can't execute him. So what I might do is basically sit on his head. Make sure he dies. Alright, so let's have everyone patch up. Quick health check. Well, we don't really need to worry about you. Really? You go straight for Arella? You little jerk. Alright, everybody on hold. Alarm raised. That's okay. Alright, so he's getting up. Basically, the idea here is to camp him until we can land a fatal killing blow so he doesn't get back up. Because we don't really want to have to continually fight a Praetorian, even if naked. Because they just have a crazy health pool. Alright, so I grabbed everyone off hold so that I could patch people up. We do have some pretty serious injuries. Seiko, minus. You guys look worse for wear, as does Ron. And Green, for that matter. Prince went for Green's legs and did actually pretty good damage. Which means I shouldn't be using Green like that. But Beep, you're healthy enough to run around executing people. Well, lost KO, that's what I like to see. These gunners I probably don't need to, I don't need to strip, because they have terrible combat stats. Alright, so Beep went deep. Just to execute. But let's go ahead and pull back. Oh, there's some... Alright, there's very good reason to pull back. Frenchie just got knocked unconscious. A patrol wandered in on us and while I was distracted elsewhere, ended up knocking Frenchie out. Pretty gaping chest wound there, too. And Silver Shade's down as well. So this is a time to head for camp, I would say pretty definitively, as soon as we get these guys downed. They're chunky guard heavies, drone heavies. So I can't execute the heavies, but I can execute the elites. The elites are vanilla, the heavies are not. I've definitely claimed... I've killed more than twice my number, I'm pretty sure at this point. Alright, so some patching. And some more executing. There's a lot of people that need execution. Oh, and is this fresh? Yep, fresh patrolman from the... over here or whatever. Alright, you just went down. This little prince is really not as sneaky as he thinks he is. One of the advantages of the weapons I've been using is we share the same ammo. So I can loot gunners for their ammo and resupply my own shots as I go. So the playing dead, huh? I don't know what that accomplished. Not much. All right, so I should be all patched up. My camp was this way, I think. Seems like I had just dodged a patrol that was coming in. Yep, here it is. Quite honestly, not a bad first day of battle. Not bad at all. As far as I could tell, I did a quick check. As far as I could tell, have no dismemberments, no missing limbs. No one died, of course, so that's always a big boon. And we killed a heck of a lot of them. But there's so many more. That's the thing, is you're never done. There's just so many southern hivers. They're so swarmy. Makes it a fun fight, but a tough one. Wow, Beep, you almost didn't even get touched. So my curiosity here is, how bad would a Frenchie's chest wound been had I not switched out the armor? I don't know. You know, you can't know these things, but I feel like I made a really smart decision with swapping up to better coverage, personally. All right, Arella also got hurt a little bit, so put her in bed. And at this point, this was day 1 or 2. I don't know how much time actually passed. Before I end this episode, I'm sort of curious how my food looks. Ah, glorious. Glorious amounts of Gohan and dust witches. And the pets are eating. What about over here? You guys have food in your barrel? Yes, you do. Not a whole lot, but actually a pretty decent amount. And I think I'm going to accelerate time so that the start of next episode, I'm on my feet, everybody's healthy, and I'm ready to go. That sounds wise. Yep, I think I'm already done. Thanks to the accelerated healing mod for bedrolls and all that. Oh, actually, Arella, yeah, let's top you up. I don't want them to get crab stew or anything like that. Okay. Well, folks, that's about all the time I have for this episode. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Should be some pretty nasty fighting up and coming in the next episode or two, depending on how long it takes me. If you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, do drop me a line. Be on the lookout for a poll that will help determine what I play next. That's coming real soon if you're watching this in real time, around March 25th or so. If you are not, I hope you enjoy whatever series got chosen by the viewers. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all on the upside. Adios.